Welcome everybody. I make it 7:30 local time here in the United Arab Emirates. So time to get started. My name is Professor Tim Campbell. I'll be presenting this webinar about the University of Northampton MBA program for you. Program that I look after, this UAE intake, as well as teaching on it for the Managing and Organisational Behaviour module. So I'll just give you a little bit more information about what it's actually like to undertake the course. So the best way to do it is a presentation that I'll give you for the Northampton program that will only take about 15 minutes, no longer than that. Then once that's done, I'll have any questions. And then any questions you might have about the program. So let's first get on and have a look at the presentation. Then I think what's important to begin with before we talk about the University of Northampton and the MBA program is if we talk about the role of Stafford, because they're the people who would have gotten you here tonight and the people you'd be in contact with about the program itself. So Stafford is a very first provider of distance learning education in the Middle East, what's that, 28 odd years ago now, and currently the resource centre of 6 British universities, and offers a great variety of different programs. I'm sure you've all been on the website. But what the company actually does for the partner universities is it offers marketing, recruitment, administration and support services to help the partner universities locally. Because of course, for somebody like the University of Northampton, it's difficult to do this for a program that's getting people from the Middle East, Africa and these types of regions to do that from the campus. So it uses Stafford's help. But what you must be aware of course, is that you are entirely a student of the university. When you enroll on the program, you are a student of the University of Northampton, bound to all its policies and procedures, and there who will, of course, award the degree. So Northampton itself, as my map shows with the big arrow, is about an hour by train north of London. It's an old historic town that's been around for an awfully long time. And in Northampton, you will find the University of Northampton, which in fact built a brand new campus it opened in August 2018. It used to be just on the outskirts of the town, but now it's right in the middle, in the middle of where those little all those red dots are, right in the middle of the town, in quite a fantastic campus. It was actually designed around technology and blended learning. And so, of course, this opened before COVID came along. So when COVID did come along, it was fully geared up already to start teaching students online. When other universities, of course, when all universities had to do that, Northampton was already prepared. So that's the campus. You'll, of course, have a look at the university's website itself. But just a couple of things I've pulled out is that education in Northampton dates back an awfully long way, back to the 13th century, but the modern university's origins probably begin about 100 years ago, really. About 14,000 students and 1,500 staff, and particularly good at teaching. The English government introduced the TEF, or Teaching Excellence Framework, that it awards to different universities as a measure of their teaching quality, and it ranks them either gold, silver or bronze, and Northampton does have a gold. So let's move on then to the program itself. So this is what we're here to talk about, the MBA program. So the program has 8 modules, and you see it starts there with the critical issues in business on the left, and then it goes all the way around to the business research project. And these modules, so it's a nice mix of traditional sort of MBA topics, such as the functional areas, finance, accounting, strategy, human resource management, marketing, those types of things, but with a nice mix of the new as well, a nice mix of things like critical issues in business, which covers things like sustainability and risk and all of these types of things. And there's leadership there as well, which is talked about a lot today. We talk about leadership more these days in businesses than we do about management. So a nice program that mixes, as I say, the traditional with the contemporary, relevant to all business people, managers. So just how is the MBA taught? So you go from one end to the other in about 18 months. There's 8 workshops in total, so there's one for each of those modules, and they're all taught on a Friday and Saturday, which corresponds with the weekend here in the United Arab Emirates, and they're all taught using the virtual classrooms from the University of Northampton's professors. And they're about 10 weeks apart. So you do the first module, critical issues. About 10 weeks later, you do the management and organizational behavior module, and you just carry on until you finish them all. Now, the next start date is indeed very close. It is going to be the 27th intake, and of course, there's 3 intakes per year. So there's been this program has been going, the UAE sort of intake program has been going for nearly 10 years now. And in fact, it starts next week. I'll be doing the introduction on the 30th of May, and the first workshop, critical issues, is next weekend on the 4th and 5th through the virtual classroom. And so we've got this intake here, which starts at the May intake. Then the next one is October, end of October, start of November time. And then we also have one about March. So what happens in these workshops, in these virtual workshops? Well, it depends on the topic, but generally the tutor will introduce key concepts, have short case studies, exercises, business games, etc. Importantly, demonstrate where to find resources, books, articles, etc., all of which are available through the Northampton's online library, and explain how to successfully complete the assignments. And these workshops are very important. They're live workshops. You're actually talking just as I am to you now, except using the university's dedicated virtual classroom. But your tutor will be there talking to you, and you'll be interacting and using all sorts of various different means. So they are actual synchronous workshops. The assessment, all modules are assessed through assignments of varying forms, essays, report, case studies, quizzes, etc. There aren't any exams on the program. Rather, this type of a program also gives you the time to reflect upon your learning and then write about it, rather than exams which are really more about just thinking how much you can remember. And then the business research project, some of you will think of as a dissertation. That's the major project on the program. And that's approximately 15,000 words. And when you do that, you have a supervisor to help you along. Entry requirements. So it's a standard entry requirement with a bachelor's degree and 2 years relevant work experience. Although there is non-standard if you have more relevant work experience, means you can go on without the bachelor's. And as I say, relevant work experience means the applicant can demonstrate managerial responsibilities. Don't need to have the word manager in your job title, but you need to show some sort of responsibilities that managers would have, such as planning and organizing work, leading people, controlling what's being done, those types of things. I'm sure most of you would find you would have those types of responsibilities. Lots and lots of support. There's a University of Northampton program leader for the MBA. There's the local program leader, which is a role that I take. Every module has an expert tutor. There's administration at Northampton and locally. And the whole virtual learning environment that we use is something called NILE, the Northampton Integrated Learning Environment. That's where your virtual classroom is. That's where you access the library, you submit your assignments. It's where, as tutors, we post lecture slides and videos and anything we think that is useful for you. So all of this is accessed online. And I mentioned that online library as well. No need to get physical books. Everything you need will be accessed through the university's online library. Just a couple of more things for me. So the price, so it is a very competitive price. Please have a look on the Stafford website for the latest fee information, because it can change between intakes. So just go on there to make sure you've got the right one. But one of the things that are good about the Northampton MBA, the duration, 18 months is about right. It's not too long, it's not too short. It's particularly designed for people who are working. There's lots of support. The teaching's very well received, and it's live teaching, even though we have to work in a virtual environment these days. It's still live. You're still face-to-face with the tutor. The only thing that's different is they're coming to you through online, of course. The assessments are good assessment methods and suitable for each module. and shy away from the exam component, which a lot of people don't particularly like. And it also strongly emphasizes vocational learning or job learning as well as theories. And this is attractive to employers who are more interested in practical knowledge, and also makes studying the MBA more enjoyable and relevant to the students as well. So this MBA program particularly emphasizes the practical elements. What's going to make you a better person in an organization, a better manager on a day-to-day basis. There we go. That was done. Oh, even a little bit shorter than I thought. A little bit less than 15 minutes, which is absolutely fine. So, because now is the important, but this is when you can ask questions, because I'm sure your consultant at Stafford would have given you the main information and timetables, etc. So let me have a look at our questions and see what we've got. Here we go. So I've got some questions here. So I've completed an MBA from another university. Can I get exemptions, or do you provide credits for a postgraduate diploma? I assume you mean you've completed part of an MBA from another university. Can you get exemptions? Yes, that's possible. If you've done, for example, a finance module at another university at level 7, which is master's level, MBA level, we can map it to our MBA program, and if it maps, you'll be exempt from that module. And the other question make is important, which I should have mentioned in the presentation actually. If you do have a level 7 UK postgraduate diploma, and if you do, you'll know what that is. Basically, it's 120 credits at level 7 UK. You can go straight to the MBA top-up, which means you only have to do the first module, critical issues, and the business research project. Then you top your diploma up to the Masters of Business Administration, the MBA. So we do accept postgraduate diplomas at level 7, so you can go straight to the top-up. Your consultant at Stafford will help you out if that's something you've done. What else have we got? I've noticed that the workshops are virtual. Yes, they are. Do these get recorded in the event that I cannot attend? That's absolutely right. They all do get recorded. So you can access the recordings through the virtual learning environment, the NILE site that I talked about. You can go in there and you'll be able to see the recordings, so you can download them. But of course, I always say, because these workshops are live, to get the most out of the course, do attend as much as you can to meet your tutors, to get the full experience, as well as meeting virtually your other classmates as well. But if you simply can't make a particular part of a workshop, they are recorded. I've been informed to submit a personal statement. Why is this important, and what does the university look for in the statement? Yeah, so as part of the admissions process, you just write in your personal statement why you want to do an MBA, how it's going to help your career. It just gives you the chance to actually tell the admissions team that you've really thought about how the MBA is going to help you and how it fits with what you want to do. So we'll talk about your work experience and how the MBA can help you, and how you'll be able to achieve the outcomes of the MBA. What is the maximum time that I can complete the MBA? Well, I always say stick with the program and the intake, so 18 months from start to finish. But if something happens and you have to take a break, for example, I don't know, something, there health reasons, for example, you can actually do that. You can submit the form and then you can take a break, and then you'll slot in at with the next available intake. So that's perfectly fine if something comes up. So I always say do your best to follow along with the timetable so you get the whole journey done and finished. But if something's happened, you can take a break, but you must finish within 5 years, the whole thing. So there's a question about examinations. Why are there no examinations in this MBA? Well, in my presentation, I mentioned how this MBA program is particularly interested in applying your knowledge to the real world, to your workplace, to what you're actually doing now. Now, to be able to do that, you really need to think about assignments rather than exams, because you need to have the opportunity to think about what you learned in the workshop, what you're learning on the module, and how you can apply that to the real world, to case studies or your own practice. And that can only be done by assignments. Exams, as I mentioned, really only, they really more so mention how much you can remember. So it's a different type of assessment that doesn't really fit with the aims of this particular MBA program. I've looked at the university website, and the modules offered on this program, the Stafford program, differ from those on the website. That's true. That's because those who are on campus in the University of Northampton, firstly, there's an awful lot of them. There's actually hundreds per year that do this on campus in the University of Northampton. So they're able to offer a wider menu and selection of choices. So what we've done here at Stafford is really to pick out the key elements, what we think are the most important modules, and that's created this program that you do. Next question. The next start dates for the next 12 months. So as I mentioned, the next one is next week. Very quick indeed, very soon. Intake 27 starts next week with my introduction on the Sunday, and then the first workshop next weekend. Now, if that's too soon for you, and I'm sure I'm sure some of you may well have already applied, but if you're looking at the next one, the timetable will be, it usually comes out probably be about 2 or 3 weeks after the start of an intake. We normally get the next timetable. So the timetable's not out yet, but if you're thinking about it, it's usually around the end of October or the very start of November. But keep in touch with your Stafford consultant, because when that timetable's out, they'll be able to send you the exact dates. What is the process for applying with someone with relevant experience? What is the next best steps to apply? So if you mean the non-standard entry, where you have 5 years or more of experience, that's great. Apply for the program, and then you'll be able to, again, your Stafford consultant at Stafford will be able to send you all the documents, take you through the steps, but it's all relatively straightforward. But that should mean you'll meet the entry criteria, as long as you have those 5 years of work experience with managerial responsibilities. Oh, this is an interesting one. Will there be a masterclass or at the university subject to the pandemic easing? So this program is designed that you don't need to go to the university at all, except for graduation, as many of our students do, and that's a great day. But of course, if you are in the UK, you're more than happy. It's absolutely fine to go and drop in and see the university, but there are no classes themselves at the university. The Northampton tutors will be teaching you virtually. Now, of course, these workshops used to be done face-to-face, pre-COVID times, here in the United Arab Emirates, where the tutors would fly out here and do them. Unfortunately, we just can't do that anymore. And the question of when we can do that again is, we just don't know. Nobody knows at the moment. So at the moment, it's virtual. We just have to wait and see and see how things go really at the moment. Yeah, so that's that question there about. So there's no actual classes at the university. You're more than happy when we're able to visit the university if you want, but you don't need to complete the program. Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, is there an alumni chapter in the UAE for the University of Northampton? The University of Northampton itself has a very good alumni network, and it always loves its students to actually join join its alumni. And these people come from all around the world, from everywhere. So there won't just be people from the UAE. We've certainly got our students who have joined it, but you'll be able to network with people that are alumni of the University of Northampton wherever they are around the world. And of course, when you join the program as well, you do meet some people on the course that you're going to get to know well and become friends of yours as well. So you'll be meeting people on the course that are from the UAE intake, but you can also join the University of Northampton's Alumni Association. All right, I think that's answered my question, all the questions now, and some very good questions there indeed. So let me just come to the next. If something else does come to you, of course, just give me an email. It's absolutely fine. And using that address is probably the best one to do it. So if anything else comes to you, please do give me an email. And of course, I'd love to actually see you on the program. Remember, I teach on it, I do the induction, and I also teach the second module, managing and organizational behavior. So it'd be great if you're on the program and I can get to know you all much better. Anyway, thanks for listening, everyone. Bye for now.